Hey, what's up guys? Charlotte Tolentino of Unbox here, and today we're going to be talking about the Vivo T1 5G, and of course, all of its pros and cons. The Vivo T1 5G is the poster boy for their new campaign, Get, Set, Turbo. But does this mid-ranger deliver on its promises? Let's take a look at the pros and cons and find out. Pro: superb build quality. We have a nice metallic finish on the rear that reminds me of aluminum built phones. We got ours in turbo black, but it does have a bluish tint to it, mostly when light hits it. Holding it, it does feel super tough. It's made of something called 3D plastic, but it still looks and feels premium. Plus, we have a matte finish which does amazing against prints and smudges. That is one of my biggest pet peeves after all. And yes, even the sides of the phone are matted out. Another thing I love about the design is the camera module, which despite being big looks nice and clean. They're supposed to be modeled after an aircraft's engine, which is in line with the turbo branding. Overall, I like the design of the Vivo T1 5G. Con: average speakers. Most people these days use their phone as their primary entertainment device. Display-wise, you'll be very happy with the 90Hz 6.44-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display. Colors pop and blacks are deep, so you'll have a good time. Visually, that is, with this one. But sadly, I am not a fan of the speakers. They sound tinny for me, especially on higher volumes. They are acceptably loud, but quality-wise, you might want to go for earphones instead. Here's an audio sample. Pro: mid-range gaming performance plus 5G. Now inside, we have the Snapdragon 778G paired with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of internal storage. This is a tried and tested upper mid-range processor, which is great for gaming. As you can see from the benchmarks I'm showing, it does really well compared to similar phones on its bracket. In fact, it does things better for 3D Mark and Geekbench. So aside from your day-to-day tasks, you'll have a good time with games like Genshin Impact, one of the toughest games to run on a smartphone. And again, like I mentioned earlier, the visuals will look great. You'll be happy to know you'll be covered for both work and play. Before we move on, I'll mention the 4700 mAh battery this phone comes with. While it's not the largest battery out there, the Vivo T1 5G maintains efficiency by keeping its thermals in check. Plus, the balanced 90Hz refresh rate should keep it alive, well, longer than if it sported 120Hz instead. Con: no wireless charging. Okay, this next one might be a little nitpicky, but with phones in this price range, it would have been nice to have wireless charging. More and more phones are sporting this feature, so I was kinda disappointed. All I can say is at least we're getting a 66-watt charging brick and cable with the package. These can get the battery from 0 to 65% in just 30 minutes. And you can find the USB-C port below next to the single firing speaker. And while we're at it, you can find the volume rocker and power button on the right side, which leaves the left side bare. Pro: EIS for vlogging. And finally is the most surprising pro. But first, let's talk about the cameras. We have a 64-watt f1.8 main camera with PDAF, 8MP f2.2 ultrawide, 2MP f2.4 macro, and 16MP f2.0 selfie camera up in front. These cameras were all pretty good. Of course, you'll get the best results with ideal lighting. But I was very happy with the colors regardless, which had a more natural tone to them. A far cry from other brands that tend to oversaturate their images. But what I wanted to highlight here is the EIS you can use for vlogging. You can record up to 4K, and you're sure to get lots of usable footage because everything will be super stable. I really did not expect this. I was ready for a mid-range gaming phone, but this one hits two birds with one stone. And the final con is the price. You can get the phone for 16,999 pesos. It's a little bit pricier than similar phones with the same specs, but what I will say is that the stabilization on this is so good. If you're really into shooting video with the phone, it'll be totally worth it. You can grab it from both Vivo's Shopee and Lazada stores. And there you have it, my pros and cons for the Vivo T1 5G. Not only are you getting a well-built 5G capable gaming phone, but you'll be able to take great photos and especially videos during your trips just about anywhere. Yes, there are cons, but let's be honest, the ones I mentioned aren't really a big deal to most users. So yeah, if you know what it's good at and what you're gonna use it for, I totally recommend it. You can check out more reviews on Unbox PH, and please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Once again, it's Charlotte Unbox, and I'll see you guys in the next one.